Hello, I'm doing another grief share video today, and my topic today is going to be holidays, and I think that I've talked about this before a little bit. The last holiday that came up, I think, was Easter, and I had been talking about that a little bit on the video, but um, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I think this may be more venting than anything else. But that is kind of what I'm trying to do with the grief share videos. We all need an outlet to talk about our frustrations, and I am trying to encourage that. Again, there is a balance between trying to be not be too negative, but if we're going through grief, I think that just tends to happen. Um, so again, I want to encourage you to share your story in the comments if that's something you feel like you'd like to do. But so today I'm going to be talking about holidays again. It'll probably be kind of like a continuation or an expansion on some of the things I've already said. I have a lot of frustration with holidays, um, not just because of what I went through. Like specifically, what I went through growing up is living with a narcissist mother. She was very excitable on holidays. She became kind of a different person. It it really sometimes felt like something was taking over her. Of course, I didn't think much about it in the moment, but I do remember having a lot more stress and unhappiness. I think when holidays would arrive, there was definitely more pressure to, um, I say, perform, act a certain way. Birthdays, um, yeah, birthdays were the worst, I think. Mother's Day, Father's Day, kind of equal to birthdays in a way. It always had this feeling of like, um, you better act like everything's okay. And with the family that I had, there was a lot of abuse going on most of the time, almost every day, and there wasn't really any communication about it. My mother, the way she would kind of handle things is she would yell at you and then um, act like nothing happened. There was no apology. There was no um, talking about the situation. You just act like the abuse never happened and move on. So holidays were especially that way. It didn't matter how somebody treated you the day before, even if you want to say hour before. I remember this one situation where it was my birthday and we had planned a um, a party for me at the local mall, and it was about an hour before we were supposed to go. And I just remember my mother got really upset. I don't know even know what she was upset about, but she was screaming, and I just remember getting in the car on the way to the mall to my own party, just crying and just feeling so horrible and not wanting to go to this party where my friends were because I've just been yelled at or screamed at or whatever the latest problem was. And but as soon as we get to the mall parking lot, there was just, you better pretend to be okay and pretend like nothing happened, all the way leading up to the party, because it's like once the party starts, it doesn't matter what happened before. You just better be okay and act like nothing happened. Act like she's the best mother ever. Um, act like everything's okay. And it was really difficult to go through. Um, which is why I find the holidays so odd, looking back, because as much as my mother specifically seemed to enjoy them, or look forward to them, she also seemed to be extremely controlling and angry, stressed on those days too. So anyway, when I left home, it was it was still kind of difficult to deal with holidays because it felt like that was the only time that my mother specifically, and I know I keep bringing up my mother because she is the one that kind of centers around like the holidays are mostly centered around her because she's reaching out those holidays. I think she feels like um, she wants people to reach out to her on those holidays. But to be fair, you know, just a couple months ago was her birthday, and I do think that a lot of adults expect somebody to reach out to them on their birthday, or it's just kind of a thing where people say happy birthday to each other. But my mother specifically tends to want to reach out or have someone reach out to her on holidays. So that's kind of what it turned into. And to be honest, this is true now and when I lived at home, but it felt like a lot of the time it felt like she didn't even know I existed till it was a holiday. And it was like she wanted to get something from me, some kind of attention, some kind of manipulation or control of some kind on the holiday. So like I don't really know what that is. It bothers me a lot of the times because like if a holiday comes up, like I know for a fact she's going to be thinking about me, but most of the other times I don't think she hardly ever thinks about me, and um and when she does think about me, that's usually a negative because she's going to try to do something that she thinks is showing love, but in fact it hurts me. So um thankfully right now I haven't had any contact with her, so it's not bothering me as much. But I notice, me and my husband both have family, and it's very difficult to deal with the holidays um, because of, I don't know if the world's created this, our own families created this, but it's like you have to reach out to your family on holidays. It's not acceptable to not do that. And I mean, that's how I was raised, but I just never really like felt comfortable with it myself. Even now, I would like holidays to be treated like any other day. I don't want my birthday really celebrated. You know, I kind of like things to always be the way they are. I don't understand the days that are made special. Mother's Day, Father's Day. And this is a little bit of me venting, but like the world pushes all these commercials and all these ads and all this stuff on Mother's Day and Father's Day, but there's no you know um, Children's Day. There's no, I mean, there is a Daughter's Day and a Son's Day and Children's Day, I think. um, but the world doesn't even push ads that day. They don't talk about those days. And but it's just widely pushed that Mother's Day and Father's Day need to be celebrated, and you need to talk to your parent that day. I don't understand it myself, but that creates quite a bit of stress. Even though uh, me and my husband have relationships with our parents that we don't really have to um, reach out that day. Um, I think now it's just become a stress that the relationships aren't what we want them to be. When a holiday comes up, we have to face the pains of like wanting things to be in a better place. So so it tends to create quite a bit of pain for us to try to deal with, and unfortunately we sometimes take it out on each other. But um my main complaint is like why the holidays are shaped the way that they are, and why our families seem to push that they need to be celebrated or some recognition needs to happen. I just I hope one day when I have kids, I'm not doing those things. But I do want to give a child the freedom to do whatever they want. It's just there's a lot of pressure from the world that I don't appreciate. I shouldn't have to worry about getting on Facebook and seeing something about Mother's Day or Father's Day or um, you know, meanwhile, Daughter's Day is never even mentioned on any website or anything. It's just like I don't know why some holidays just don't matter and some do. And the ones that do matter just seem to bother me a lot. But again, that's kind of my own personal thing. But if you have a good relationship with your parents, maybe all these things are fine. I don't like feeling that things are kind of dictated in the world a certain way. But anyway, I know I've kind of gone on a bit about this, so I'm going to try to wrap it up now. But I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.